So, you know, when I got told I was going to be doing this thing tonight, I'm like, and they said it's no education, it's just entertainment. Like, you know, I'm about as entertaining as a wet day sort of thing. You know, I'm not really entertaining at all, I'm more of an educator. But then they told me today that, well, if you can be entertaining and educating at the same time, you can probably do that. So I can't see you guys because the spotlight's on and the house lights are down. But how many people here, by round of applause, how many people saw either of my demonstrations today or yesterday? Okay, cool. So you've got a little bit of an idea on what I'm on about, training these horses, you know. And the big thing you've got to do training horses, I mean, I was trying to make the wrong thing hard and the right thing easy. And in order to make the wrong thing hard, you have to let them do it. Anybody saw in my demonstrations saw how we allow those horses to do certain things and make it difficult from there, so they choose the answer you wanted to choose, you know. Well, I got this kid from Mexico who works for me, his name's Chuy. Chuy's a funny guy, he's about 23, 24, he's a pretty funny guy. But anyway, last year he went to Mexico for the first time in a number of years to visit his village, and in Mexico they don't drive hot cars, they ride cool horses, okay? You know, they use horses for farm implements sort of thing, but like the young guys, they like to ride down the main street and they get their horses to prance and all the girls like it, you know. So anyway, so when Chuy went back to his village, there's every village has a local horse trainer because they fix all the horses, you know. Anyway, Chuy said to him, he'd worked for me for probably 3 years by then, 2 years. And he'd worked for me for long enough to where he kind of had this stuff figured out. And he said, so, what is the worst horse you have? And he goes, oh, senor, we have this one horse. You try to turn left on him, he rears up. Chuy's going, I want to ride that one. So Chuy gets on him kind of in the pens there and in the yards, you know. He says, Chuy says, it doesn't seem too bad. And the guy's like, oh no, senor, when we try to come out from the pens here and we go to the main street, we try to turn left because we want to go to the next town and drink some tequila. And when we try to turn left there, he will rear up. So the main street's like down here with these fences, you know. And Chuy says, can we try it? And this guy's like, sure. So anyway, they all hop on horses. There's like 3 of them plus Chuy, and so they head around there, and we're all looking at each other because I know when Chuy turns left at this little turn right here, that this horse is going to rear up. So Chuy walks along, and they kind of stop to see. Chuy picks up on this rein, and that horse kind of goes like that, starts leaning that one. Chuy just lets go and trots off down the main street, and they're like, "Hey, senor, come back! You are wrecking our horse. Do not let him do that, senor. What are you doing?" And that horse goes down the main street and all the way around the back and runs into his yard. And when he gets in his yard, Chuy goes, okay, you want to be in the yard? Let's be in the yard. And Chuy trots him around like this and trots him around. And meanwhile, these blokes are up there at the T intersection wondering where the hell Chuy is, you know. Chuy trots him around the yard and the horse starts thinking, well, this yard isn't a whole lot of fun. He's looking for another place to go. So Chuy comes out of the yard and pretty soon here comes Chuy. He trots around the corner and he's heading up towards this T intersection again. Then he's heading up here and gets close to the intersection. As he's getting close to the intersection, they're like, hey, you're stupid, oh, that's stupid for Mexican. Hey, you're stupid, oh, what are you doing? You're ruining our horse. Do not let him do that. You're letting him win. You cannot let the horse win. Chuy comes up here to the thing and he asks it to turn left and it goes, and if he pulls that much harder, it's going to rear up. Then he lets it go. And it trots off down the main street and they end up back around there again. Goes into the yard, Chuy trots around for 5 minutes until he doesn't want to be in the yard anymore and he comes around the corner. Anyway, this happens 3 or 4 times. Anyway, about the 5th time Chuy comes strutting around the corner. These guys are mad at Chuy. Like, hey, you stupid, what did they learn in America? You know, you're letting this horse get away with bad stuff. Don't let him do that. And Chuy comes trotting up here, comes up to the corner, picks up on this rein, and this horse goes, and heads out of town towards the next village. And all those Mexicans look at each other and go, here's the devil. Because they couldn't figure out how that worked, you know what I mean? And the big thing training these horses, like, I mean, you saw like Smarty here, when I put him in a spin, he wants to stay in that spin because he's been taught the spin's the fun place. That horse there had been taught that he goes out of town, and when he points that way, they yip and holler and carry on and go to the tequila place and drink the tequila and come whipping and hollering back down the main street and wave at all the girls, and then they go back to that pen or that yard, and what does he do? He gets to rest there, so that's got to be the best place for him to go, you know? So anyway, that was probably the first story Chuy told me. And then the second story Chuy